Today brings a massive update to Oldschool RuneScape without bringing any new content into the game. We have the summer sweep up for combat. There are a ton of different things that changed with existing combat encounters in game. Instead of my normal videos where I'm just going to read off the news, I'm going to actually test all of these for you, see what's changed, give you my honest opinion about it. And I know Tombs of the Amascut, this is the big boy on here. The tons of great changes. I'm super excited for that. But I had just got off work. I have been itching to do one thing first, so let's just skip to that and get that out of the way. Yeah, so as you can tell, in the other boss and PVM related changes section, there's a few bullet points here, but the one that I wanted to focus on here was the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. They now drop a gold ring whenever you hit one of the behind the scenes vestige rolls, and you actually get 2 rings if you're 2 out of 3. This was a much needed update. It kind of sucked before because it gave you an invisible roll onto that. You need to get 3 of these rolls in order to get the vestige, but there was zero way of you of knowing where you were in that cycle. There was no indicator, there was nothing you could check, and finally we are able to know. And in the future, if you do get that vestige roll, you'll just roll a gold ring or 2 gold rings, or if it's the 3rd one, you'll get the vestige. But this first one, for your very first kill back after this update, it's going to give you the amount of rings where you're at. So let's go see where I'm at for all the bosses. Oh man, I could have sworn I was 2 out of 3 on all of them. Don't worry, we'll cover Toa at the very end of the video. It's going to be a big one, so it's going to be like the back half of the video probably. Anyways, I want to talk about elemental weakness and NPC defense changes. We're all pretty aware of elemental attacks on the standard spellbook, and now a ton of different enemies are going to have elemental weaknesses. That's not super interesting to me. What is the flat armor thing that we have down here. What's cool, if we look at the Sulfur Naguas, they have a -4 hit mod, or flat armor modifier, which means that every time you hit them successfully, when you roll a successful hit, you get 4 extra damage, but this is 4 extra damage per hit splat. So if you have the dual maracas in the full Blood Moon set, you can rack up like nearly 200,000 experience per hour here. It's absolutely bonkers. All right, I was originally going to go through this, but this is just too long. I think it might have every single monster in RuneScape. If you're super curious, go through this one on your own. Loot table changes. This is mostly going to be an Iron Man thing. They're going to be reducing the amount of runes, high-tier food, herbs, and seeds, and gems coming from PVM. Likely they are looking to make, or they actually say it down here, is that they're trying to make them worth more money. Like Torstal seeds, they're like 6.5k now. Forever they were like 50 to 80k each. Looks like they're doing some fishing enhancers too. Ultimately, I see like this as a segue for them to make skilling more financially viable as a means for people to make money, like it was back in like 2005 maybe. I'm not super into that just because I don't really enjoy that content, but if that's something that's for you, have at it. Next up, we have Obor and Bryophyta keys. Basically, you no longer need keys in order to fight them, or at least not 1 key per kill. You still need 1 kill to enter the arena to kill them, but after you're in there, you can just keep on doing it. This is mainly to make the combat achievements more accessible for players, so you only need to get 1 key, you go in, you can do all your combat achievements. Before you had to grind out, and it could honestly take quite a while if you went dry on them. It was pretty annoying. However, to maintain the value of the drops, you do still need keys in order to open a chest that they put in each of the layers in order to get those drops. Luckily, I've been saving up some keys for a video in the future, so let's just do 1 little mossy key and 1 giant key. I did 10 kills really quick here. It's just hill giant loot. They explained this basically in the blog there, but something cool was those giant bones that we have here. You can bury them. They give you 150 prayer experience, which, you know, for most mains that can just buy prayer experience, not very good, but this might be good for early game Iron Men. Then the chest that we were talking about earlier that you can use your actual giant key on right here. You just open it and then you get your standard Obor loot that you would normally get from them. Yeah, so this boss kind of sucks. I hate the little dudes who spawn. They're really annoying. Same type of thing. It's moss giant drops, and here's the chest. We'll do 1 open here, see if we get lucky. We got 8k. Great. So they finally implemented dupe Sucellus prep. Basically, if for the uninitiated, you had to make potions in order to wake up the Duke. And you could only do one at a time. You could only stock up 2 potions, which was enough to wake him up once. Everything else would disintegrate. Terrible user experience. You'd have to re-prep each and every kill. Now, you still have to do that to some extent, but you can prep 4 kills in a row, which this is just a massive quality of life update. So yeah, all you gotta do is you prep all of your mushrooms. It actually depletes, so you don't even have to worry about counting the right amount. Go to the other side, do the same thing, and then mine up 48 of these, whatever these things are. Then it's potion making time. Just make all of them and get ready to do 4 kills in a row. This was such a much needed upgrade. It makes Duke such a better grind. I think I'm probably going to be going for pet now. And yeah, first kill here, 38 seconds. This is absolutely nuts. Okay, we're finally to the part that I actually want to talk about. The other boss and PVM related challenges. Most excited about these, especially this first one with the Phosani's Nightmare. They're taking out an entire phase of Phosani's, which just makes the boss fight so much faster. This one always felt like a bit of a slog with kill times around like 7 or 8 minutes. I'm guessing this will bring it somewhere in the 6 range. I don't know. I'll test it out in just a minute after filming this part here. Also, they're going to lower the speed times. Obviously, makes a ton of sense if you're cutting out an entire phase. And the rest of the updates to it are going to make it so much easier to learn. Learning Phosani's always sucked, and these are going to make it so much easier. Not only is the kill time going to be tremendously faster, which if you're not super familiar with Phosani, it's incredibly punishing. So many of the attacks just instantly delete you. So having to do that for like roughly 1/3 the amount of time is a godsend for learning this. Sleepy Tablet. This teleports you very close to the Nightmare. It's the best teleport for it, and without it, the run is like 3 minutes, 4 minutes or something like that. It's crazy to get to, and this is making it 4 times as common. But wait, there's more. When you die, and believe me, you're gonna die a lot learning this, you're gonna respawn outside. You're gonna be able to grab your loot. If you have enough food, you're gonna be able to send another, or you could teleport out and return. Before, it would teleport you all the way to your regular death respawn point, as if you died like a PvP death or something like that. You'd have to run all the way back, get your stuff, teleport out, run all the way back again after you re-geared, and then do your next kill. It was just terrible to learn this. If you can't tell, I am super amped to give this a go. Let's get some new PBs on the board. I had so much fun at this. A 5 to 6 minute fight feels so much more manageable than like 7 to 8 minutes. It's just so much more repeatable and grindable, especially now that you can get the tablet at 25 kills. Speedrunner time, 6 minutes, absolutely free. If you have the right gear, you should get this pretty much every kill unless something crazy happens to you. A+ update on that part. We have some massive changes to Nex, and they're just all straight up good things. Nex is going to perform at least 2 more melee attacks whenever she uses one. This means that this is going to be much more predictable, and you're going to be able to mitigate way more damage than in the past. Nex can be damaged slightly beyond a phase transition. This means that if you guys are still hitting Nex in a team, and she calls out like Kree'arra or whatever the next little minion is that you have to kill, your next few hits are still going to hit her. It's going to be reduced damage, but at least you're not going to be wasting ticks. Nex's magic attack in her final phase will have its damage reduced by 25% if you activate Protect from Magic late. So basically, you'd be able to see the magic attack and then activate Protect from Magic in order to pray against that. This is pretty cool. It's going to add a little bit of like higher skill gameplay to this, and you're going to get a reward for doing so. And then this last bit, just a cool little thing that they're adding in. Damaging Blood Reavers is going to heal you for 75% of the damage you do. It's just a good way to get a little bit of extra health during that blood phase. It's pretty late at night right now. I don't feel like going to Nex. It's kind of a time commitment, and I don't really like the boss personally, so you're gonna have to trust me that it's just gonna be better. We have some Huey Codal changes. I'm probably saying that wrong, but anyways, the drops are all much more common, 1 out of 18 instead of 1 out of 23. The waiting on the Dragon Hunter wand is more common. The Dragon Hunter wand is now better. The tail has less hit points, and you now get 3 hides every time you get a hide drop. This is gonna make the GM time so free here. One of the biggest gatekeeps for this was being able to kill that tail in 1 down, or I guess 2 downs, once on each side, and then being able to attack the boss again. With 300 HP instead of 400, you should be able to get this every time, and I would think that you'd be able to just save your claws and dump them on the boss instead. Is that just 1 and done? Kinda sick, just turned into getting all my friends to GM time. I'm gonna speed run through a bunch of these since I don't think they're that important. There's a few updates to the moons. Blood Moon spawns less tornadoes. It'll make that one CA a little bit easier. The Deranged Archaeologist now has a unique steel ring drop. If you look at the specs or the stats here, honestly, nothing really to write home about. For Cerberus, which I would go to right now if I had a task, but I do not. There's a few quality of lives here. The fire special is going to be easier to predict, and it's not going to be using the AoE to hit you. I got hit like 10 to 20 damage by this constantly, so that's going to be really nice. Ward of Arceus is going to reduce the prayer drain from the ghost attacks. It's going to work with the spectral, so that's super nice as well. But I think the big one for these is the Keymaster teleport being dropped in batches of 7. And ultimately, they are now tradable, so you can just buy these for your Cerberus task. This was a long time coming, and I'm so happy they did this. Grotesque Guardians, slightly less punishing than before, not really a big deal. The Testicles of Ralos, 1 more range, you can attack from 1 tile further away, 8 if you're on a long range. Then the next really big one here, Halberds can hit flying enemies like Aviances, most importantly, Kree'arra. If we look at her defense, she has pretty hefty defenses in all of the melee attack styles, but it is less than a range defense, so let's give this one a rip. So that kind of sucked. It was way too tanky. I switched out for full slash bonus gear. We got the Radiant Oathblade Helm and the Bellator Ring. It's still terrible. Demon Bane weaponry now effective against Ice Demon. Probably good. Not sure if it's worth the extra inventory spot. DT2 bosses, we already talked about that. I'm fairly unlucky here, but the next really cool one here is that you can now have the Slayer task bonus and Fight Caves and Inferno off task. The only catch is that you do have to have the Zuck Helm already, so this one's pretty much just for speedrunners. The rest of these, not super consequential, but they're pretty nice. Combat Achievement Reward, they'll double the duration of the Thrall, so you get 2-minute Thralls at the Master tier. Just nice for people who don't have GM yet. The Halley related combat achievements. They used to be the Crystal Halberd, but if you don't know, pure accounts can't do Song of the Elves, so they're opening up these combat achievements to pures so they could just use a Dragon Halberd instead. And then this last one actually does kind of mess with me a little bit. So various spellcasting animations have been tidied up to reduce the visual rubber banding. Before, I don't have any clips. I deleted all of my clips from before this video. So basically you'd attack with your trident or like the Sang Staff or something, and then you would like do this weird little drag thing. It would like stall you out visually, and then it'd slingshot you forward, which is why they call it rubber banding. I enjoyed it. I was used to it, I think, more so. So, okay, we're finally here, the Tombs of Amascut. Okay, long story short, they just made the raid way better. Let's just walk through a raid. Let's start with the Monkey Room, since this is the correct way to start the raid. They took out a couple waves. The Monkey Room itself is a little bit faster, and that's always appreciated. They also added the feature that if you do arrange the Shamans and the Acid Monkeys, you automatically max hit them every hit. However, they raised their HP to a point where you can't one-hit them anymore, so I'm not sure if this works out to be on average faster or not, but at least you know what you're gonna hit every time. Hey, it's me editing the video here. I've done like 10 TOAs. This video got me re-addicted to TOA. This is way faster. It's like 20 to 30 seconds faster on average. It's a great change to the Monkey Room. The Baba changes were some of the most impactful. Red X is discontinued because Baba no longer does any chip damage, protect for melee, and just get to work. Boulders and sarcophagi protect you from 100% of damage, and your blowpipe automatically one-hits the baboons that Baba spawns. I actually love this. This might be my favorite part of this because you can just get 2 death charges off with that new double death charge and just spam a ton of Void Wakers. For Kefri, the Scarabs have far less defense than they did before, making them much easier to manage. The biggest change is that the Magic Scarab moves after a certain number of attacks regardless of if they hit or not. So what I've been doing, not sure if this is going to be meta, is that I just end up blowpiping the Magic Scarab while I'm taking care of swarms, and he kind of just bounces around the room. Akka now only prays against the attack style that he is using, which means that you can mage him for both the melee and the range phases. This also allows you to open up with the ZCB spec or double ZCB if you're taking power twice. The only downside though is that if you do get hit while butterflying, the next special attack will automatically change Akka's attack style. Overall, I do think that this ends up making the fight faster, or at least more predictable. Oh, and the cum phase here has so many less cum blobs to dodge, and it is significantly easier. Other than that, they scaled down the loop pretty significantly. It was kind of too high already, but honestly don't care one way or the other with that. But the raid itself is more fun now. It's faster paced. There's less like bullshit to deal with. So For that, I think this was a really good update, and they added a new jewel here. It's not really too good. It might be good for some like earlier game accounts, but I think the Fang is just gonna be better literally everywhere. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I've been working a shitload in real life, have a ton of stuff going on. All of it's pretty positive. It's just like why I haven't been posting a lot here. But I do appreciate you guys who still watch these videos. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.